Season 4 is here. We got the rules. I don't know what to say about them. Jesus, it's going to be, gives us a little bit more theory crafting this go around. It's not as bad as Season 3, but 4 is here. So for Season 4, we got some global rules, and that's New Warriors. I'm not particularly sure why they picked New Warriors, because they are an offensive team for CC, but if you don't have a full New Warrior set, it might be beneficial to put them on defense, because the accuracy is only, 80 or 60 or 40% extra, depending on how many of the New Warriors you don't have or built up. And having those T4s is essential, so that's probably the big thing. But with the New Warriors, you gain 10% crit chance and crit damage for each charged on that character, which will essentially be Death Pool, and she's getting a little bit more crit chance and damage, and she does have some of the highest damage out there, but still, you need to have her built to actually feel the effect of that. And then when attacking an enemy with blind, gain regen, and then gains 20% health and damage as a basic for all rooms. So starting it off, boom, we're going off straight away. You're getting the extra damage and health right away for offense or defense, so cool. But when attacking an enemy with blind, gain regen. So that does help you kind of see where you want to go, because you do want to knock out the person. Usually we want to knock out the person that doesn't have blind. So because they got blind, they're not going to hit us. But if their next attack is unavoidable, well, la-di-da. But if we're thinking about, maybe, I don't know, there's a lot of characters out there that do blind and still could do some damage, but you want to get rid of that enemy and you get the regen, because health does count. It's an efficiency point here. So you definitely want to make sure that you're pushing against with that. But that one there. Boom. Room 1. Pressure points. Now, Raider characters and Striker characters, obviously, you could change them up for, just Crucible if you want to. If you got the, ISOs for it, and you can. But taking them to Blue 3 isn't too much of a hit. Blue 4 can be, and Blue 5 definitely is. So don't do it. Unless you're taking them for Apocalypse, which we already know the 14s and the 3 characters that are going to be used for that. But Raider characters, Striker characters, applying minor defense down does help a little bit. Getting them any which way, getting them less R, less resistance, less anything is great. And then Striker characters, while below 50%, gain 200% damage. So that is a beautiful metric, because a lot of characters can be pushed down below 50%, and some of them that are stubborn can still survive, but once they're below 50% health, 200% damage, ooh, God, that could be a really big one for some massive characters like Rolk, like, Agent Venom, anybody that's dealing a lot out there, but it's really dependent on you. I see this one could be a blanket statement across all characters. Which ones would you want to typically use or push in here on defense? It's really up to you. You need to have at least a skirmisher and then Striker characters to go ahead and benefit off the fact that, boom, they're going to get more damage, because that ISO hit's going to be just ridiculous, along with the fact that they're still getting 200% damage along the way. So this could probably go general all over the place. You could put probably Gamma around here. You could try Unlimited. They do get pushed down a little bit more, but they'll be definitely a pain, especially like Gambit with the pinging. Death Seed maybe, but I would probably say for offense, keep them for this room if you're going to use them against it. But it just depends on where people are putting teams right now. But this could be a huge thing for huge teams, that you at least got one team that's huge, that's not going to be pushed into another room. Could definitely go in room 1 and snap off on the Striker part if we know they're going to get hit. You got to defeat these rooms. So from the defensive side, I might put Infinity Watch here, maybe, just to see, because you do have to kill a couple of them twice, unless they get perma-killed, but depends on what you got set up for there, so who knows. But I'm thinking of certain characters that when they get below 50%, they're going to hit harder, and they will definitely be able to go. And Rebirth can be one of them. They won't have the revive like they did last one, but hey, it is what it is. You got a lot of characters, a lot of choices to choose from. It just depends on what you want to do with it, really. So, but many choices along the way. You want to look for characters that you know that are going to get below that and that still have a nice, decent health pool to survive after getting below 50%. Because if they don't survive, then the 200% damage doesn't actually mean anything. But other characters like the Eternals, we know that the Eternals can get below 50% and then they'll gain damage, but they have to remain below 50%. So they might not be the most effective, but they might be effective on defense a little bit more if they're able to take a turn. They're not going to have the Tangled Web, tag this time, but is that really a big deal? Anybody going around with Dormammu, because you obviously take Dormammu because you know some of the characters on your team are going to die. So if they're going to get below 50%, they'll do some damage on that. If they're on defense, they might be able to hold their own a little bit. I don't want to say Hero as Guardians. They need some type of speed or something like that. Maybe pushing them up with Emma to maybe keep them trying to go first or not. Vol is a wickedly good character once built, so maybe for that. Anybody that can regen, which is basically legendaries, they do get 20% health back on on the turn they take. So some legendaries could be good as strikers. The Raiders part, I'm not really, because it's minor defense down, but strikers could be. There's a lot of strikers out there, and a lot of teams you want to use strikers on. But for them to attack at 200% damage could be relatively interesting. So you got quite a few characters to choose from. Whoever you got set up as strikers, but Deathpool, MILF, you could do beta if you really wanted to. Rogue, I would change Red Hulk to striker because that 200% damage could help out about. I'm definitely, if I put unlimited on defense, Gambit is gonna be a striker. Why? Because hey, why not? Boom, he is going to ping like crazy. So that is going to be amazing. But you still want to have somebody with the vulnerable, applying the vulnerable, so he snaps even harder, and you want that pinging to go nuts. Apocalypse, wow, dude, an extra 200% damage, that's going to be nuts. Somebody's dying. But any striker characters you got out there would be good. You could probably, well, we could finally use Wakandans on offense, so maybe you want to put, use them in there. As for defense, it's really, you got to think about it. There's a lot of different matchups. There's a lot of different combinations you can use. But this one seems like a strictly, kind of like a, which five character team you're going to use in here. And that has some defensive bonuses with Crucible, or they could just take a freaking hit. So, but if you like this video, go ahead, like, share, subscribe. That's great for me. I'm just trying to push this out there. We got room 1 here. We're going to do a whole nice series along the next few days for room 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it's going to be a lot of theory crafting, which is what we wanted. We wanted this. Now we got it. But till the next one, y'all, I'm rolling out.